Hello everyone, today we're going to be learning how to verify a DEA number within the pharmaceutical setting. So some prior knowledge regarding the DEA is that the DEA stands for Drug Enforcement Administration. They are a federal pharmaceutical agency made from the Controlled Substances Act of 1970. They enforce and monitor controlled substances and their laws within the United States. Pharmacy techs must verify DEA numbers, and there is a method to do so which will be discussed in this video. So what is a DEA number? A DEA number is a number made to verify controlled substances. When a prescriber writes a script, a DEA number must be present. So before we go any further, we have to learn the anatomy of a DEA number. So the first letter represents the prescriber. F, A, and B are for doctors and physicians. X represents opioid addiction clinics. M represents mid-level providers, which would be nurse practitioners and physician assistants. The second letter represents the first letter of the prescriber's last name. Now at the top, I have an example of a DEA number. I know that the B is going to stand that they are a doctor, and the H is going to stand for the doctor's first initial of their last name. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I verify a DEA number? To verify, you're going to add the first, third, and fifth numbers together. Then you're going to add the second, fourth, and sixth numbers together. Then you're going to multiply that total by 2. Then you're going to add the sum of the first set of numbers to the second set of numbers. And when you do that, you're going to look at the last digit of that sum, and you're going to compare it to the last digit of the DEA number. Then you will see if it's verified or not. So our first example, I have X, which I know stands for opioid addiction clinics, and I have C, which should be the doctor's first initial of their last name. Now, to solve, I know I'm going to want to add the first, the third, and the fifth number together. That would be 4 plus 6 plus 3, and I know this equals 13. Now, I'm going to want to add the second, the fourth, and the sixth numbers together. So that would be 2 plus 1 plus 5 equals 8. Now I'm going to multiply that second sum by 2. So that would be 8 times 2 equals 16. Now I'm going to add 13 plus 16, and when I do that, I get 29. Now looking at the last digit, I see that the last digit sum is 9, and the last digit of the DEA number is 9. So looking at these two, I know that this number is correct and verified because they share the same last digit. Moving on to our next example, example number 2, I have B, D, 237, 6525. I know B is going to stand that they are a doctor, and D is the last initial of their last name, or the first initial of their last name. So I'm going to add the first, the third, and the fifth numbers together. When I do that, I get 2 plus 7 plus 5 equals 14. Now I'm going to add the second, the fourth, and the sixth numbers together. I would get 3 plus 6 plus 2 equals 11. Now I'm going to want to multiply that second sum of the second set of numbers by 2. So I do 11 times 2 equals 22. Now I'm going to add 14 plus 22, and I get 36. Now looking at the last digit of the DEA number and the last digit of my total sum, I see that they both are 6. So this indicates that this number is correct and verified. Going on to our third example, I have AW2397414. So I have A, I know that they are a doctor, and W would be the first initial of their last name. So now I'm going to want to verify the numbers. So I add the first, the third, and the fifth number together. I get 2 plus 9 plus 4 equals 15. Now I'm going to add the second, the fourth, and the sixth number together. That's 3 plus 7 plus 1 equals 11. Now I'm going to multiply 11 times 2, and I get 22. I'm going to add 15 plus 22. That's supposed to be 22. And when I do that, I get 37. So I'm going to look at the last digit of these two numbers. The DEA number, I have a 4. And for my total sum, the last number would be 7. So I know that this number is not correct and is not verifiable. This DEA number is wrong. And then you would bring it to the pharmacist in a pharmaceutical setting. Now, moving on to our fourth example, I have L1598655. Now, I see that they have an L. That's not verifiable for any doctor or opioid clinic or even mid-level provider. And I don't have a last initial. So I know that already that this DEA number isn't correct at all. It's not verifiable. Now, if I want to take a step further, which we will do, we can still solve for it. But in a real setting, that would probably be a waste of time. Looking at it already, you don't have a last name initial, and you don't have the correct initial to show their title, their job position to prescribe this. So it'd be wrong. But for the solving steps, it would do 1 plus 9 plus 6 equals 16. Then I would do 5 plus 8 plus 5 equals 18. And this is all following the steps that were provided at the very beginning of this video. Now I'm going to do 18 times 2, that equals 36. 16 plus 36, that gives me 52. Looking at the last digit does not correspond with each other, 5 and 2. So this is not a verified DEA number. The last number doesn't match. There is no last initial for the prescriber, and the L is an incorrect job title. So some key takeaways for DEA numbers is that DEA numbers are verified for controlled substances. The first letter represents medical title. The second letter represents the last initial. And when processing a DEA number, please make sure that they have the medical title and the second letter that represents the last initial. In our example number 4, the letter didn't represent a matchable medical title, and the second letter wasn't even present. So make sure that when you're verifying that the DEA number has those two anatomical parts to it. And then to solve a DEA number, remember this formula. You're going to add the first, the third, and the fifth number together. Then you're going to add the second, the fourth, and the sixth number together, and you're going to multiply that value by 2. And you're going to add both values. You're going to look at the last digit and make sure they correspond with the DEA number last digit. So that's all for today, and you guys have learned how to verify a DEA number. If you want more pharmacy math help or even math help in general, check out my channel, and that'll be all for today. Bye everyone. Ari the Math Tutor signing out.